welcome to Winfield's week of Rugby League, and a busy week it was too for players involved in the start of the 1987 representative season. First of all, though, we'll have all the highlights of the National Panasonic Cup quarter-final from Tweed Heads between Eastern Suburbs and Canterbury, the Saturday representative clash between City of Origin and Country of Origin, the State Bank big game from Henson Park between East and Cronulla, as well as highlights from another magnificent weekend of Winfield Cup football in all the other games. But first of all, our busy week got off to a flying start at Tweed Heads in the quarter-final of the National Panasonic Cup between Canterbury, Bankstown and Eastern Suburbs.
Hello there and welcome to the third quarter-final in this particular National Panasonic competition from the Chris Cunningham field in Tweed Heads between Canterbury, Bankstown and Eastern Suburbs. And away they go. Andrew Farrow drives it deep from the kickoff. It's going to be fielded by Gary Worth just around about his quarter line. And no completion of the tackle there by Stephen Folkes. After Gilmeister. Gilmeister onto Mackay there, and he does a bit of a pirouette and gets to the quarter line. Chalice runs from dummy half, gets a high towering kick. No Canterbury Bankstown winger at home there. Tony Curry had advanced up the sideline. Andrew Farrow's back there now. He's trying to run it out, and he's tackled 10 metres beyond the quarter line. Chris Mortimer on a Tony Curry. Oh, and a good tackle there. Takes his legs away from underneath him. That was Gilmeister. Peter Tunk comes away with a strong burst. Just testing each other out at the moment. There's the first penalty of the match. Starting the crowd barking. That's in, out to Terry Lamb. Lamb's taken by Brendan Hall and driven backwards. McGahn comes over the top. Lost a bit of ground on that one. Potter, out to Andrew Farrow. Steps, comes back on the inside. About a metre from the halfway line. Bugden onto Tunks. Tunks grinding away up the blind side. Bugden, here's Mortimer's kick. It will be a useful kick. It's driven them back. He's got very little room to move there. Chalice hit hard and driven towards the sideline, but not over. Gary Worth makes a 7 or 8 metre gain up the open side of the ruck. Chuella, Batiste. Chuella, Spina, Shepherd. Oh, that was 6 to go. It's been touched in flight out to Prome. Prome gets a pass away to Mackay. Mackay gets it out there to Morris, and Morris is up the sideline. Steve Mortimer's there. He avoids Steve Mortimer, is tackled by him there. And the pass gets knocked over the sideline.
Excellent run by Steve Morris. He wrong-footed Stevie Mortimer, but to Mortimer's credit, he grabbed him by the ankles, and Chris Mortimer, who covered inside, knocking the ball in touch, and Canterbury with that sweeping defence of their back line, getting caught out wide on that occasion.
Scrum going down as it was knocked over the sideline. It's an Eastern Suburbs feed. Brendan Hall gets it away to Gary Prome, stands his ground and turns his back. Hall, Worth, McGahn, about 5 metres into the half. Worth running the blind side. He's made a good inroad there. Chuella. Not a Batiste. Batiste gets a pass away to Chuella again. Gilmeister. And there's the penalty. Offside right in front. Well, the crowd are setting up a law here. Steve Mortimer, 5 minutes in the sin bin for upending an Eastern Suburbs player there. Watch it again.
Laurie Speen is the man in question, racing for maybe a quick tap. Mortimer says, no, you don't. And that's one way to let your opposite number you're about. But on this occasion, Steve Mortimer the loser, 5 minutes in the sin bin.
Moves in. And strikes it well. So Eastern Suburbs 2, Canterbury 0. And that's locked in there, and now it comes out. Out to Langmack. Driven sideways in the tackle. Brendan Hall was the man. Michael Potter running well. Stephen Folkes trying to make an inroad. Well, indeed he does. About a 7-metre gain there. Donnelly. Batiste there to stop his progress. About half a minute to go, and there's a penalty almost on cue. The referee has given Canterbury Bankstown the opportunity to draw level at quarter time, with a penalty awarded for inside the 5. And I think Steve Mortimer's back on the field right now. There's the hooter gone in the background. Right, he's steady now. Head down. And strikes it, so at quarter time, Canterbury Bankstown 2, Eastern Suburbs 2. To Bugden. Lamb gets a kick downfield. Worth takes it beautifully inside his quarter, gives it to Chalice. Chalice is going to take him on. There's a lovely tackle right round the boots by Kelly, puts him down about 4 metres outside his quarter. Out to Laurie Spina. Spina through the middle, going well, gets a good break on there. And it turned out to be a pretty useful sprint, that one, from Laurie Spina. Slippery Norris running from dummy half now. He's gone right through the gap. Looked for support on the inside. There was support there. He's still going. Failed to get a pass away. Only he's the judge of whether he can. Onto Mackay. That was 2 great opportunities there for Eastern Suburbs to get their power going. Oh, McGann's passed it, and the ball stopped dead in the ground. Didn't move, didn't bounce, didn't do anything. Just went plop like a pancake. Truella, Spina, kicks downfield. It'll go to Peter Mortimer. Feels it just inside the quarter.
Eastern Suburbs growing somewhat in confidence. They've found the easy tactic in the conditions such as these. Dummy half running, the danger men for Canterbury, Laurie Spina and Steve Morris. And for Canterbury Bankstown, when they start to set themselves in an attacking position, this man going to the dummy half now is the danger for Eastern Suburbs, Steve Mortimer. Canterbury seem to come alive when he goes to the dummy half role.
Tunks now about 3 metres short of the quarter line. There's the long pass back to Farah, and there's Eastern Suburbs caught offside. Bugden, Steve Mortimer, Donnelly. Oh, beautiful tackle right round the boots, drove him sideways. Gilmeister was the man. That was the site of a perfectly delivered low tackle. Bugden, away to Lamb, going for the drop. And it's unsuccessful. Failed to get above 6 feet in height and went underneath the crossbar. Last tackle coming up. The wingers have not dropped back. Well, there's a kick that's been taken with ease by Worth. Worth gets a kick downfield. Goes to Potter on the first bounce. And Potter is wrapped up his own side of the halfway line. Kicking on the first tackle. Eastern Suburbs, Tony Curry. Ran into all sorts of trouble there. Bugden. Donnelly, one of the young lions in the Canterbury club. Bugden. Stephen Tunks trying a prop right on the halfway line. Lamb, the run around, the pass is out to Mortimer. Mortimer gets a pass back on the inside to Andrew Farah. Farah's going strongly, looking for support, gets a pass away to Lamb, and Lamb's in for a try.
Virtually coming out of nothing for Canterbury Bankstown, picking up a short blindside. The Bulldogs start to celebrate. Terry Lamb, the man again, picking up another try on the National Panasonic replay. Out it goes wide from Canterbury Bankstown. Great long ball from Terry Lamb. Found Chalice in no man's land. Andrew Farah was the man back on the inside. Now he had 2 options here. McPotter had too much pace inside for Danny Shepherd. That was the possibility under the post. Lamb was there. Gary Worth caught off guard as well. Chalice tried to make up for his earlier mistake, but he arrived too late to stop Terry Lamb, and the man regarded as probably the best support player in the game of rugby league. Andrew Farah positioning the man well here. Inside goes the ball, and Terry Lamb always on the spot. And another try yet again for the little 5'8".
Okay, so Canterbury Bankstown now lead by 6 points to Eastern Suburbs 2. Terry Lamb's going to do his best to make it 8-2. And the rain is really coming down, going to make it very, very difficult as this match gets further advanced. Lamb to kick. No, that's gone away to the left, so the score remains as it was. Canterbury 6, Eastern Suburbs 2. Batiste running sideways there, not getting anywhere. Truella's at dummy half. Danny Shepherd back to Truella. Truella on to Gilmeister. Gilmeister goes straight. On to Spina. Spina sighted a hole in the ruck and he gets through it and it's gone to McGann. McGann's going to score! McGann's in for a try underneath the posts. A beautifully worked move and McGann showed surprising pace to outdistance the defenders there and score.
On the national Panasonic replay, a magnificently worked move back into the centre of the ruck. Spina has been finding plenty of gaps up the middle. Canterbury, that's where their strength is in the forwards, but not tonight. Spina again finding a runner, this time the skipper Hugh McGann, and he had too much pace for the Canterbury cover defence. Brilliantly brought back to the middle of the ruck by Laurie Spina. The Canterbury defence tried to get in between he and McGann, but he took it right to the fullback, Michael Potter. McGann had one look and said, nobody's going to catch me. I'm all set to level these scorelines just prior to the break. 6 apiece.
And the try was scored in injury time in the second quarter. There is the hooter. And the kick and goal from French will be probably able to unlock this score of 6-all. I said probably. Moves in, strikes it, it's successful. So at half-time, Eastern Suburbs have got in front of Canterbury Bankstown by 8 points to 6. He's tackled there, only about 18 metres out from the Eastern Suburbs line. On the blind side they go to Andrew Farah. Farah bores on the strength and power up the blind side. Can't make an inroad there. On to Stephen Folkes, puts the head down and burrows for the line. Now Steve Mortimer, this is a perfect position for him. Well, he's still there with it, but he's run sideways and been taken out of it. Brad Tessman hanging over the top of him. There's a little grubber kick being put through there, and it's Tony Curry who scores, but he's been ruled offside. Tony Curry. And now we've got an Eastern Suburbs player down in back play. Well, they're starting to get a little bit restless here. Bugden and Truella having a bit of a snipe at each other there. Langmack's doing his best to pull Bugden out of it. And they're having a verbal argument now. Well, the referee's going to have the pair of them for 10 minutes each. Bugden and Truella, 10 minutes in the sin bin.
And quite interestingly, Hugh McGann, the Eastern Suburbs skipper, pulled Truella back to ensure that they didn't go off together and that there be no repeat of any clash with both players, although Bugden waiting for his opposite number now. Truella, and plenty to be said here.
There's Andrew Farah still going, still powering forward, gets it away to Potter. Potter's going nicely, gets to within about 8 metres of the goal line. Steve Mortimer, long cutout pass to Terry Lamb, out to Langmack. That pass looked forward. Yes, indeed it was, and it's been ruled that way. Looked a couple of metres forward.
And as Peter Kelly went off, replacement, Ronald Truly's mind on the game about the image of rugby league up here in North, and signing, not agreeing with the referee's decision on that forward pass, but doing the right thing for all the kids here at the Seagulls ground tonight in signing autographs.
Okay, the penalty goes to Canterbury Bankstown. Andrew Farah to take the kick. And there's a good-looking kick. That takes play back to within 10 metres of the Eastern Suburbs quarter line. About 12 minutes of the second half, the third quarter gone. Tunks steams forward. Langmack at dummy half. Steve Mortimer. Donnelly. Andrew Farrer releases himself from the defence, gets a long cut-out pass out to Peter Mortimer. Mortimer props, comes back on the inside. He's taken away by Chalice. Mortimer. Donnelly runs into a hornet's nest there. Two defenders there to meet him. Steve Mortimer. Out to Lamb. Well, Farrer had the opportunity there to get the pass away. Took the tackle. There's the grubber kick. They'll let that go. It should go over the dead ball line.
Now it's a try to Peter Mortimer.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. The ball has gone across the goal line, into the in-goal area. It's been ignored by an Eastern Suburbs player. Watch it again.
The National Panasonic replay, a cross kick from Peter Tunks. The ball started to spin and come back into play. Everybody had given up on this. Wayne Chalice tried to kick at it. Peter Mortimer was the man that didn't give up. Dived over. A few moments ago, he had a try disallowed from a forward pass. But on this occasion, as Chalice kicked out, very reminiscent of only some time back at Henson Park when Glenn Frendo, in a similar situation, managed to kick at the ball in the in-goal area. On that occasion, Eastern Suburbs were the ones to come up with it. Paul Langmack switches to the blind to Tunks, the man who's coming up with somewhat of a surprise kicking game tonight. Chalice, a major mistake, and Peter Mortimer right on the spot.
Well, I have a different view of that. Having watched it 3 times, I believe the ball touched the line. He's about 9 metres in from the sideline. 10 points to 8. Strikes it, and it's unsuccessful. So the score remains Canterbury 10, Eastern Suburbs 8. Yes, David, you've got something for us?
Yes, Rex, I've just been watching Steve Mortimer. He didn't seem to have too much trouble getting the air out of his lungs then to chat with referee Graeme Hughes. But I have been noticing that he's really been sucking the air in. As we all know, Steve does suffer from asthma. And these conditions out here tonight are probably the worst that he could be experiencing. But I would say that it's so important for Canterbury Bankstown that the little general stays out there to protect this 2-point lead.
Yes, well, I couldn't agree more. He's one of the best players in the side. Laurie Spina goes straight. Swung round in a tackle there by Donnelly. Out to McGahn. McGahn slings the pass to Melrose. Melrose is overrun by Slippery Morris. By David Smith, actually it was. Out to Morris now. Went down on one knee. He's tackled but not put down. Jarvis is the man. There's an overlap wide if they can use it. They can to Laurie Spina. Spina's got support on the outside. Gets a pass away to Wayne Chalice. Chalice goes through the line and goes round and scores! Well, there was a lapse there in the Canterbury defence out wide, and Eastern Suburbs have taken toll with a good 3/4 line movement. See it again.
Excellently called out wide by Eastern Suburbs. Great long ball from Tony Melrose. He was there looking to kick. The call came from his skipper, Hugh McGahn, out wide. Laurie Spina, who's been one of these best performers all night, found the gap. Peter Mortimer had dropped back for the kick. Michael Potter was caught on the inside off balance. Terry Lamb tried to get there, but Wayne Chalice finished it off well. It was well read as Steve Morris went to get up to play the ball on the 6th tackle. All the Canterbury defence had dropped back for the kick, trying to protect their quarter line. Melrose very quickly found the ball out wide with a long ball. McGahn caught out Andrew Farrer, who maybe just hesitated, could have been the man to cut off the movement. Spina, a beautiful ball to Chalice. He had plenty of room to move in. He had the defence on the wrong foot, and an excellent finish.
David Smith. Strikes it. It's unsuccessful. So the score remains Canterbury 10, Eastern Suburbs 12. Okay, let's see how they go now. David French got a long kick away. It's gone back to the halfway, taken by Potter. Andrew Farrer has it now. He's tackled midway between the quarter and the halfway. Eastern Suburbs end. Pat Jarvis on the charge. And there's the hooter. The referee has heard it. And that's the end of the section for Canterbury in this competition. Eastern Suburbs have come up with a sound win, and the scorers for them have been McGann and Chalice a try. Smith a couple of goals. Lamb and Mortimer tries for Canterbury, and Lamb a goal. 12 points to 10. Eastern Suburbs have defeated Canterbury Bankstown in the third quarter final here at Tweed Heads.
On to Saturday football, and at Parramatta Stadium we saw the start of the 1987 representative season. Sydney of origin versus country of origin, and of course all the players were on show for a possible start in the New South Wales side to take on Queensland. And they didn't let the selectors down. A very impressive display by the Sydney side, who ran out winners 30-22.
And good afternoon, perhaps again for a number of our listeners in Brisbane and at Wollongong from the Parramatta Stadium. A magnificent afternoon here, a fair crowd, by no means as big as the officials would have hoped for this afternoon, to see what should be a tremendous contest, particularly up front, between these two sides, the Sydney origin and the country origin teams. For the first time, the match is taking on this new lineup, new look, and it looks on paper as if it will be a tremendous crunch for state of origin selection. Looking at the Sydney origin side, it's Docking at fullback, O'Connor and Growth on the wings, Kenny and McGaw in the centres, Terry Lamb and Hasler in the halves, Pack, Langbeck, Wayne Pearce the captain, Paul Cyril and Ping Tunks, Ben Elias and Jarvis. On the country origin side, Gary Jack, John Allenson, Brian Johnston, Andrew Farrell, Chris Mortimer in the centres, Laurie and Sterling, the Parramatta halves in there, and Ron Gibbs with Noel Clear, Les Davidson, Peter Kelly, Mal Cochran and David Boyle. The man in charge is Mick Stone. The players are on the ground for the kick-off. Here's Mark Hill.
Yes, it seems as though it's going to be a great game, this Sydney of origin and country origin side. It really will boil down to who's the most determined side, I think. Both sides are evenly balanced, with Ron Gibbs, Noel Clear, Les Davidson making up a tremendous back row three for the country, and of course Paul Langmack, Wayne Pearce back into the second row with Paul Cyril.
Goes down deep, right down on the line. It's taken by Docking and sent straight out to McGaw. He crunches back towards the corner line. He's picked up and dumped by the country defence. Look forward to plenty of that today as they move it across to Jarvis, and 2 and 3 come in. Gibbs is in there along with Cochran to put him down. Quickly played. Elias gives it to Langmack. Langmack going up, takes it about 5 metres ahead over the quarter line. In come the country defence, and now a clearing kick by Terry Lamb for the City side, and it goes back in country's half. Jack is down there, he waits, the ball wobbles, he picks it up, and then as he sees the defence is right up there, sends the kick straight to Docking. Docking's having a run, and he goes down right at the feet of Mal Cochran. 35 from the Sydney line. It's Lamb from dummy half, just tidying it up for them as they all get onside behind him. Recovering position, Elias is there, a quick play the ball, and it goes to Pearce, and Pearce is taken by the country defence. Clearly in there, assisting on the blind side as Tunks goes hard up about 5 metres ahead towards the halfway mark. He's tackled and plays it to Elias, back to Langmack. Langmack trying to thread his way ahead, and this is the 6th tackle on its way for the Sydney side. Elias's ball again for Lamb. It's knocked down by Gibbs as he tried to kick, picked up by Country. They're all onside there, and Country in possession. Gibbs doing well to smother Lamb's kick for touch. Cochran plays it. Gibbs turns around and goes up on the blind side, and he's upended very quickly by Ben Elias. 10 metres inside the Sydney half of the penalty against Elias. In the play the ball. First penalty of the match going to the country side. Kelly has a look, gives a short ball there to Boyle. Picked up and pushed back about 5 metres. Hasler was very strong with Jarvis, and it's played from Cochran to Sterling for a kick ahead. He's looking for the corner, and it goes over Docking, who does well to grab it on the bounce. It just fell out of his fingers, and he quickly got the ball to be taken on his own quarter line.
It's interesting to see that we've got two fullbacks who rarely kick, so you'll see plenty of running from the back, and I'd expect Docking and Gary Jack to do plenty of running.
Sydney move it up through Jarvis. He tries to hit it up hard, and there were 3 defenders onto him. Kelly in there with Gibbs and Boyle. Now Hasler gives a ball, it goes to Langmack. Langmack trying to thread past Sterling. Awkward ball, goes from Docking's fingertips to Hasler. Up to halfway, he looks for support now. Sends the pass out to O'Connor, close to touch, into touch. But a good break by the Sydney side. We'll have a scrum 10 metres in country's half. And after 4 minutes, no score.
Super break by Des Hasler. I think he ran the wrong way. He threw the ball outside. Inside, who was it? Terry Lamb.
Scrum packs in. Sterling about to feed. Heads bobbing. Ball's in. And it's squeezed out the Country side. It was a messy scrum. Country have won it though. Brian Johnston does the tidying up as the forwards get into a line. And we're almost near halfway. Country in possession. Cochrane's pass goes up to Davidson. He loses it, and Sydney in possession here. Sydney take it up through Elias. He gives the pass to Magore. Magore hunting it to the halfway mark, and he's taken from behind. They play it back, and it's Sutherland running it up from the Sydney side. They're 5 metres in the Country's half. Touched by Country. Count starts again, and a penalty going against Country, not getting off Sutherland. It was Cochrane and Chris Mortimer at fault. So the first penalty going to Sydney. And as Lamb comes up to take this kick, David Rollins, anything else down on the sideline?
Yes, well, the list continues, Jim. I didn't get to finish it before, but that's how much a toll these games have taken on the players. Ross Conlon is certainly in doubt tomorrow. He's got a reoccurrence of a hamstring injury that he injured earlier on. Stephen Folkes, in case any Canterbury fans are worried, he was only taken off in the City first game as a precaution and to keep him fresh for the Origin game. Phil Daly will mount his forwards are going to be in a bit of bother tomorrow, which makes the arrival of Kevin Ward even the more inviting. He's got a cork knee, but that's about it. And there'll certainly be some Warrior Club secretaries.
Pass looking busy with the ball. Sydney attacking inside the quarter. Hasler's pass. Lamb gives it to Langmack. Good one to Pearce. And he's pulled down about 20 metres out with Chris Mortimer across there as Tunks goes on the blind side. A chip ahead taken by Jack near his line. Runs it out and runs it strongly in the headband up towards the quarter. Good dogged, determined effort by Gary Jack. Country responding after that good charge by Sydney, and it's Cleal. You couldn't get any momentum up on the blind side. Is quickly nabbed by the defence. Here's Cochrane's pass. It goes on the inside to Kelly. He squeezes ahead, going very hard at the line, and he's just over his quarter in the middle of the paddock. Cochrane back to Sterling. Spreads it out to Gibbs. Whoops, he almost lost it. He's lost it behind him. Cleaned up by Sterling. And it's intercepted. And O'Connor will score under the posts. Ball was passed out from Sterling. And O'Connor, who's made a nag with the interception, quite a few of the rep games, was there. Thanks very much. And once he'd taken the pass, that was it. He only had about 15 metres really to stroll to put the ball down under the posts. So the Sydney Origin side lead Country 4-0 after 7 minutes.
Most uncharacteristic error by Peter Sterling. He picked up the loose ball after Ron Gibbs had spilled it backwards and then tried to throw a long ball inside his 22-metre line. Michael O'Connor was on hand, simply grabbed it and went in unopposed.
Terry Lamb as he placed for the conversion. Here he comes from almost in front. And he's kicked it. It's 6-0. Sydney 6, Country 0. On 8 minutes in this first half.
They're only 32 metres away, Country, as Cochrane a dummy half. He did a little pirouette because Cleal went one side and Boyle the other, and both of them had overrun the dummy half, so he couldn't do much else with it. Cleal into dummy half. The cutout pass comes away now to Laurie. Laurie's gone straight through. Laurie can't get his pass away though. He's taken down only 18 metres away from the City line. Country now swinging out through Sterling, and back down the centre comes Cleal. Back it goes to Laurie, throws the dummy, puts the kick in. It's into the end goal area. Getting back there is O'Connor. O'Connor has to scoop it across the dead ball line, and so play will restart with the line drop out, and Country will retain possession, and that will please that man a little bit more. Warren Ryan, the coach of the Country place of Origin side.
Well, it takes some pleasing, David, but it would have brought a little bit of a smile to him there with Laurie. You notice the switch inside to the big fella Cleal. A little bit of confusion here, but this was a good kick. Now, Laurie had made the break previous and put it under a lot of pressure, and O'Connor did the right thing.
Farrell with the ball now, back on the quarter line. That's Cochrane, taking it up as Davidson, and Davidson's gone straight through. Davidson to the line, sends the pass away, and scoring the try looks to be the South Sydney teammate Boyle. And the South Sydney combination have put Country back in business. Davidson to Boyle, Boyle under the post, it's 6-4.
Well, talk about Boyle boiling over. He trailed his man there.
Now watch Davidson. Now any kid watching football, this is how to run onto it, and that's not out of tackle. Two City players went high, and that's the way to trail a man. See from a different angle. Look, they've gone high. You can't do it. Lamb and Elias got in each other's way.
The strength of this man, and that is great backing up.
it's been a big day for the Rabbitohs. David Boyle's first try there of the day, and off big Les Davidson.
Well, Davidson's been in outstanding form in recent weeks. The City front row certainly topping the tackle count as far as they're concerned. Jarvis, Tunks and Elias. Cochrane moving in. There's the kick. It's successful. So Country 6, City 6. Well, Jarvis must wonder what they've got against him out there. Not only did he get rocked by the tackle from Davidson early on, but he's been hit 3 times since in gang tackles from Davidson and Boyle. They haven't missed him.
Certainly haven't. Obviously, the countryside have pinpointed him as being the man that may just take a backward step.
Cleal has the ball just inside Country's territory as Allenson got his pass away to Boyle, and Boyle running out wide again. Now the pass has gone away, intercepted by Langmack. Hasler away to Lamb. Lamb's got it to Kenny. This is problems for Country, but good defence. Good defence across there that time. Andrew Farrer, as they seemingly were getting set to just get that overlap going out wide.
Once again, it was a good run by Boyle. It was a badly directed pass.
Elias, short side, sends it away from Lamb to Langmack. The cutout pass goes away to Kenny, but again, good defence. Coming in off the wing was Johnston. Took him ball and all. Boyle across there again. That's Hasler. Away from Jarvis, it goes to Pearce down the centre. And look at that! No, clear. Oh, and that's second Pearce.
And why wouldn't it?
There's the shot at field goal from Elias, and he's got it. City are in front, 7-6. Benny Elias, his 7th field goal of the season. So Sydney leading Country 7-6. 16 minutes left in the first half. Country with the ball only 12 metres out as Allenson goes straight and hard. Good run from the youngster. He's 10 metres out. Sterling. That's Boyle. Straight down the centre. Right in front of the goalpost.
Keep your eye out for Noel Cleal.
Out it goes now from Laurie. Laurie threw the dummy back to Sterling, who kept going, but the City defence wasn't sucked in. Now taking it down the centre is Kelly, and Kelly's almost there. Kelly within a metre of the Sydney line. Cochrane's pass comes out now to Sterling. The flick pass goes back on the inside and picking up the crumbs. Bad pass. Brett Kenny pounced on that like a panther, and that is when Kenny is at his most dangerous. If he'd been given another metre to move, that would have been a City try, because he would have given it to O'Connor, who was unmarked.
Certainly was. A bit of desperation though, David. They took the odds far too often there.
Now Pearce going straight down the centre. The pass comes back to Docky. Docky coming down to the quarter line. Good pass to McGaw. McGaw's out of 1. He's out of 2. The pass comes to Grote. Grote for the corner. He's out of Allenson. Is it a double movement? No, the referee says fair try.
That was great play. Beautiful play by the centre, Mark McGaw. And the Shark really dug the teeth in there. Well finished by Grote. The strength of him really was just too much for the young one. Now Pearce made the initial break. Beautiful pass. Docking chimed him well, and that is great football. McGaw to his fellow teammate. There's the strength. It isn't often you see Noel Cleal get barged out with a no thank you, and the strength of this man just far too strong. Now this is the way that you should run on. Beautiful pass at the last moment. Good linking by the fullback. Now McGaw is shouting for this. Give me it. Get out of the way, Noel. Over the top. He kept his cool. A beautiful ball out wide. And there's nothing to stop this fella.
Well, Mark McGaw, a very underrated player.
Not in my book, it isn't.
Certainly not in mine, but a lot of people, I think, were surprised when he got into the side and with O'Connor on the wing. Here's Lamb's kick. It looks good off the boot. Just swinging away to the left-hand upright. So the score, with 13 minutes remaining in the first half, City 11, Country 6.
Talking about underestimating people, David, I think Noel Cleal shaking his head in disbelief. How the centre could just completely palm him off like that and then leapfrog over him, set up the try.
Country have missed 17 tackles so far in the first half. The story is retold on the scoreboard with Sydney leading. And there's a couple more. Masters Docking's gone straight through. He's down to the halfway. He fed it away to Hasler. Hasler will go all the way over the quarter line. Hasler for the post. Hasler dives. Hasler scores.
Well, take your hat off to the little fellow, the fullback.
We just mentioned they've missed so many tackles, and what a time to miss them there. But full credit to this little fullback. He's pretty short to the ground. He steps. Once again, they try to go high. And this kid's got plenty of class. Beautiful ball. Good backing up. Shut the gate. Really, really an easy, simple try. But full credit to the fullback.
The Country need plenty of talking to at the moment. Their spirits are at a very low ebb. Jonathan Docking, they call him Pixie, but there's no way in the world you can associate that name with the way he plays rugby league football. Here's Lamb from right in front, 10 metres out. The try converted, City 17, Country 6. Elias, Tunks. The pass comes to Seranen. Seranen, look at that for a fend. He's got plenty of open space in front of him. His Balmain teammate Gary Jack coming across. Seranen out of one. He's going to get away. He gives it to O'Connor. O'Connor inside another. O'Connor beats another. O'Connor can't get his pass away in the end. It's gone loose. Or has it? No, he's still got the ball. As it comes out to Lamb. Now it's gone to Langmack. And Langmack has taken only 14 metres away. Now Pearce. Pearce buys the opening, goes straight through it. Pearce will score himself.
Oh, David, they're just toying with him now. That really is poor tackling. It's on the same lines. It's on the same lines, David, as in the old Country days. They're a very dispirited mob. Now this is a beautiful long ball out there. Now notice the step on Pearce. And once again, Cleal and Cochrane guilty of going too high. Look at this man's knees. Now you've got to get his legs. It's no good trying to go high. This fellow loves anybody coming high at him. So strong.
Lamb moves in. That's a better kick. He's got it. 2 points. And so City are leading by 23 points to 6. Cochrane. Kelly.
Well, you can see Kelly trying to turn in the tackle, looking for support, and I'm afraid he's one out. There's not much backing up going on out there, dude.
Now it comes away to Mortimer, and Mortimer's pass has been intercepted by Kenny, and Kenny's over the quarter line. Kenny will score. Kenny dives. Kenny scores. It's 27-6.
Well, that was a Kenny special. Chris Mortimer, horror on his face after he passed the ball. He knew that Kenny was going to be sniffing around. And believe you me, here it goes. Now here you see Mortimer. Now watch the position of Kenny. He knew it was on. That was no fluke at all. And Mortimer knows it. And so does this guy here. He loves them.
Brett Kenny's season's tally 4 points, and at Parramatta Stadium, this boy's known as King Kenny.
As in comes Terry Lamb. On the stroke of half-time, he kicks the goal, which means that City are now leading Country by 29 points to 6. Elias away to Jarvis, and Jarvis is up over the quarter line. Tunks takes it up. Beautiful pass away to Seranen. Serenen's taken down midway half and quarter line inside Sydney's territory. Elias's pass comes away now from Jarvis. Well, he was about to pass it away, but he was wrapped up in good defence there by his Canterbury teammate Kelly. Pearce. Pearce is going to be tackled right on half-time So at half-time, Sydney go in with an unassailable lead. They've scored 5 tries, 4 goals for 29 points, and also a field goal to boot, kicked by Benny Elias. Country, the solitary try and the solitary goal. City lead Country by 29 points to 6. Let's go down to the sideline. Here's Ian Henson.
Yes, it would have been nice to have been a fly on the wall inside the Country rooms, but we were standing just outside, and it was quiet as a church mouse. Whatever Warren Ryan said, he kept it very, very quiet, and I'm sure that he did tell these guys that they've got 13 reputations to uphold in the second 40 minutes, and to get out there and show this crowd and show New South Wales and Australia that they've still got some football left in them. Ron Worley was delighted with the tries that his guys put on. He wants them to keep the pressure up for the first 10 minutes, score a try, and he's sure then that the slower Country forwards will start to feel the pinch.
So we've already seen one error in the second half, and now Sydney have the ball, and that's Langmack, and Langmack will get up and play it. 34 metres out from Country's line. Tunks takes it ahead. Tunks is hammered into the ground. 12 metres outside the Country quarter line. Elias at dummy half. Half-time score, Sydney 29, Country 6. No change, of course, yet in the second half. It comes away from Hasler. Now that's Lamb. It's away it goes to Kenny. Kenny's pass goes away now towards Docking. He throws the ball on the outside. He's taken ball and all by Allenson. Still 34 metres away from that Country line as it comes from McGaw. McGaw running back towards the centre of the field. He slips the pass to Elias. Elias has got it away to Pearce. Pearce throws the dummy, and he's taken in tackle number 5. A few metres outside that Country quarter line as Elias sends it away now. Lamb's going to put the kick in over the top behind the backs. Now Jack lets it bounce. It's into the in-goal area. Getting back there is Brian Johnston, and he's got the ball back into the field of play, and then he's taken with magnificent defence, especially from Sirinen, back into the in-goal area. Play will restart with the line dropout.
Good kick, David, and good defence. And really, they put the pressure on here. Lamb, a little chip over. And the ball bouncing a little bit awkwardly there for Jack. Find the wingman, gets right involved with it. Johnston. And believe you me, look at that. That's been the difference.
Cochrane. Now Cleel coming down the centre. He slipped the pass away to Sterling. Sterling throwing the dummy. Back it goes to Cleland. He's lost the ball. Stacks on the mill. And the scrum's going to go down 11 metres inside Country's territory.
David, I think the point we've got to think about now is how many of these Country players will make the State of Origin team. I mean, really, no more than 2 or 3 at the most. I think Des Hasler has overshadowed Peter Sterling. I mean, Peter Sterling is Sterling, but Hasler's had a huge game.
As Docking runs the ball up on the blind side, tackled by Gary Jack, and that's O'Connor. And O'Connor down towards the quarter line. It's a good point. It's pretty hard to think, though, that Peter Sterling wouldn't be in the State of Origin side, but hasn't Desi had a mighty game?
Certainly has, but you've got to look at it, David. These games aren't just put on for the fun of it. This is the trial for the state game. And quite frankly, a few of these players on the Country side, they must be on very thin ice. You can't always continue to select on past performances.
Now Pearce going down the centre. Now that's Sirinen. Sirinen up to the quarter line. Sirinen's tackled around the legs again by Sterling. Down on the quarter line as Docking sends it away towards Tunks, and Tunks gets within 9 metres of the Country line. Into dummy half again as Elias. As Elias will send it the open side, and it goes to Lamb. He has a shot at field goal. It's going to be pretty close. I think it's there. Referee Mick Stone says yes. And so the first point of the second half comes up. A field goal to Terry Lamb. Took 13 minutes for the first point of the second half to arrive. And so Sydney are now leading Country 30 points to 6.
Very methodical kick there, but it's what's counting. Always come away with at least something. 1 point, and you're leading by 30 points to 6. This game is well and truly over.
Wayne Pearce, I noticed, was getting some treatment for his neck. Of course, it's been a terrible day as far as injuries are concerned when you can think about tomorrow's match, or tomorrow's round of matches in the Winfield Cup. David Lydiard has a suspected broken ankle. Peter Spring, the prop forward from Illawarra, was taken to the Illawarra hospital with a suspected broken jaw. Mark Brokenshire had 32 stitches inserted in a very nasty gash under his right eye. Terry Lamb kicking for touch, up over the halfway line, down towards the quarter line. Gary Jack coming across. and Jack fields the ball. Now McGaw's the only man up there at the moment. He's taking on McGaw. Now Lamb comes up. He's away from both of them, Gary Jack. Good run from the fullback, and he's got the ball back to within 12 metres of the halfway.
Well, he's certainly one of the players that can hold his head up high. And with all those sort of injuries, David, it really is an insult for the selectors to completely, well, not select on form on this particular game.
Now Brian Johnston, he's up over the halfway. He's ankle tapped by Tunks, but he's managed to stay in the field of play. Into dummy half is the other winger, Allenson. He's got it away now from Boyle. It missed out Cleal. It went now to Cochrane. Out wide it goes to Laurie. Laurie throws the dummy. Laurie still going. Back on the inside is Farah. Farah down over the quarter line. He can't keep the movement going though. Lovely dummy from Laurie, because if he'd thrown the pass, Kenny would have been in under the sticks. As away it goes to Sterling, and Sterling decides to go on his own. Down the centre is Cochrane. He's got it away from Mortimer. It goes to Kelly. Kelly, can he get his pass away? Yes, that's Davidson. Davidson throws the dummy, the pirouette, and he's got within 9 metres of Sydney's line. Now it goes from Sterling. Sterling across field. The flick pass to Gibbs. Gibbs throws the pass and Cleal's in.
That's better. That's what the crowd's come to see. And thankfully, the country guys haven't thrown the towel in. That really was great support play. I watched the ball swing out here. Now Sterling is getting himself more involved in the game. A beautiful inside pass. Gibbs puts on the acceleration. And once again, we see Cleal backing up with the man with the ball. This is something they didn't do in the first half. Watch for the call inside. Gibbs says it's mine. Beautiful inside flick. He puts the power on. And good support play.
So the Manly combination there.
Noel Cleal opens the scores for country with his try, and it's good to see the Manly boy back on the board.
Cochrane. This is only his third kick for the afternoon. Moves in, and he's missed it. So Sydney leading country 30 points to 10. Cleal's pass away towards Davidson, and the referee says play on as Cochrane picked up the ball again, and country have got it about 40 metres out. It goes now from Davidson. Away it goes to Sterling. Now it's with Laurie. Laurie going straight down the centre of the ruck. Laurie still going. Laurie's down to the quarter line. Is this shades of Parramatta versus Canberra? Laurie very much involved that day. So was this man Sterling, as the pass comes out wide towards Gibbs, and Gibbs has got to within 19 metres of the line. It's a huge ask as Davidson has the ball. Away it goes now from Sterling, and across now it goes to Laurie. Laurie's got into a bit of space. He's got it away to Kelly. Kelly, can he get his pass to Jack? Now it goes out to Farah. Farah's in. Try the country, and Farah's going to bring it round and make it a little bit easier to convert.
Keep the ball alive, and that's what you'll be rewarded with. And they'll be a lot happier there. Andrew Farah had not many opportunities today, but he certainly took that one well. This is what it's all about. Keep the ball alive, back up the man with the ball, and for once we saw a good link, good pair of hands, good step by Laurie. On to Kelly, who's been caught quite often out wide, but this time it pays off. Jack onto Farah, and really Groth had no option but to take the dummy. Quick hands, it's what link's all about. There you see, just that half break. Pearce committed himself. Kelly finds himself in the centre position again. Jack linking through. Now watch the dummy. See you later, Eric. And that's what the crowd needed. Another country try.
At Canterbury, they call this man Mr. Muscles, and he can sure put a try on.
Andrew Farah, of course, bought by Canterbury really as a schoolboy. Came down here from Cowra. There'll be plenty of support for Andrew in Cowra this afternoon, despite the disappointment that Roy Simmons isn't out there. Here's Cochrane. There's the kick, and he's got it. So City are leading country by 30 points to 16. There's still 20 minutes left in the match. Is it possible, Steve-O?
Anything's possible in rugby league. As long as the country players don't start tackling again like my old Pommy mates.
Country. They've got the ball. They're 14 metres away, and Cochrane's in a dummy half. As he sends it away, on it goes to Boyle, and Boyle goes straight and hard down the centre.
Well, the country side, David, have tried to respect the possession this second half. and it's paid off.
As Davidson throws the dummy, now it goes back to Cochrane, away it goes to Laurie. Laurie, oh, there was no one there on the outside after he created the gap. And it's a penalty against City for holding one of the Country players off the ball that time as Cleel takes it ahead. After they've taken the tap, Cleel going on his own, Crusher almost there. Cleel to get up and play it. He's only 2 metres away. In a dummy half as Cochrane as it comes away to Sterling. Sterling's ball to Gibbs. Gibbs has got it away, and this will be it. No, the ball's gone loose, and Hasler's got it.
Well, I don't believe that. The 5'8" Mark Laurie, the try line there, begging for him to put it down. And this was beautiful football. Sterling coming into his own, puts Gibbs into the gap. It was a great pass. Should have been taken. Try time bomb.
Hasler, the man who's been in the right place at the right time the last 2 times that they've been close to scoring. It was Hasler, of course, who stole the ball from Davidson. It was Hasler again who got the ball that time. Gibbs is going to be called out here for being a little bit overzealous in that tackle on Langmack.
Well, Langmack got up smiling, but I think there's a bit of pain involved in this one. Now the ball spins loose here. Out it slips. And watch Mr. Gibbs. Now this guy's never stopped giving up. No doubt about it. Shaped his elbow into the battering ram position and Wishka into his ribs.
Now City take it up through Tunks, and Tunks' tackle on the quarter line. Well, they've finished strongly, Country. You've got to give them full credit for that. And Tunks is struggling to get to his feet.
Well, Gibbs looks as though he's made his own hit list. And he's got through some good tackles today. That's the second one. Now, Tunks is coming through, and he's a big boy. Here he comes, Mr. Gibbs. Boom! Whooshka into the ribs again. Boy, they hurt.
And I think you'll find that, and I notice Bobby Lindner sitting in front of me over here, Mike, too, a man who suffered almost an identical, or what seems to be a similar injury anyway. Of course, he had the bad knee injury in the State of Origin match, the Sydney Cricket Ground 85, and he looked at that in a great deal of concern. I saw him watching the replay. And Ian Henson down on the sideline, it just looked to me, Ian, as if Tunksy might have injured that knee in similar fashion to the way Vorton went last week and the way we've seen other players go.
Yeah, excellent call, David, and unfortunately for Tunks, he's being carried off now on the stretcher. His teammate Steve Folkes, who had a super game in City Ones, is coming on to take his place in the Sydney pack. And Tunks has had a history of knee injuries, and it was just shocking to see him get bent backwards by an avalanche of Country players. And the man is in a lot of pain, and the doctor is waiting for him to come onto the field.
Well, the thing was, I think you knew that there was something seriously wrong with the speed with which Lamb and Langmack went there. Now, Country have got the ball after the scrum, and Laurie's still going. Laurie held up only about 14 metres away, though, from the Sydney line as it comes from Cochrane, and away it goes to Davidson. Down the centre goes Davidson, and Davidson's held up only 12 metres away from Sydney's line. Cochrane a dummy half. Now, what can they do here, Country? As it comes to Sterling, blindside, away it goes to Kelly. Kelly burrow his way upfield he goes. He's taken there by Pearson. Sirinen again in a dummy half. Cut comes from Cochrane to Sterling, and away to Laurie, back to Sterling. Sterling trying to run across field, looking for the runner, waiting for the defence to hold off him, but they didn't. They read that well, Sydney. The ball's played now to Farah. Farah goes on his own. Back on the inside comes Mortimer. Now it's with Sterling. Sterling out wide. It goes to Boyle. Boyle's got it away towards the wing of Johnston, and Johnston's in. There's 10 minutes to go. It's 30 points to 20.
Good play by Boyle there. Good support play. The ball swinging around, and Sterling really has improved his effort in the second half. He's been Johnny on the spot, and here's the difference of it. Now Farah swings round, gets the ball away. Beautiful pass by Mortimer. Now Sterling, that's a great pass to Boyle, who does the right thing, commits himself to the tackle, and a great try.
So Brian Johnston, the boy from Dunedoo, has scored the try.
Well, here we see, now watch this pass from Sterling, right into the gap, and beautiful play by Boyle. He's worked hard today.
There's 9 minutes left in the match. Cochrane from just a couple of metres in from touch. It looks good off the boot. It's not a bad looking kick. What a magnificent kick from Cochrane. 8 points the margin. 8 minutes left in the match. Sydney lead by 30 points to 22. As it comes away to Jarvis, and Jarvis is hammered into the ground there. That was Kelly and Davidson. Elias blindsided, goes to Langmack. Langmack's kickers charge down, stacks on the mill, diving on it as Johnston for Country. There's 4 minutes left in the match as it's swung across now from Sterling. The long ball comes out to Laurie. Laurie against Lamb. Laurie throws the dummy over the quarter line. He's flipped the pass to Mortimer. Back to Laurie. Laurie trying to take on McGaw and also Kenny, and he's wrapped up midway half and quarter line inside Country's territory. Allenson from dummy half goes on his own, but McGaw and Kenny just wrap him up and take the youngster to the ground. 10 metres in from the eastern touchline. Cochrane decides to go on his own up the blind side, and Cochrane's almost got it back to the halfway line. City lead Country by 30 points to 22 as it's come away from Sterling. On it goes to Cleal, and Cleal's knocked it on. And coming away with it is big Eric Growth. Up over the halfway line comes Growth, but look at that. Good defence. The two head-geared Country players, Gibbs and Kelly, affecting that tackle. Jarvis has passed away from Elias. It went away to Pearce, and Pearce has held up 9 metres inside Country's territory.
This is where the City side have to slow things down. They realise that they've got victory in their grasp. An 8-point lead, 30 points to 22. And Pearce having a lot of trouble with his neck injury. He's been spinning round, and there you can see he's struggling. And more importantly, look at that. That does your spine and your neck no good whatsoever.
Yes, down on the sideline, Wayne Pearce has played in pain for the last 40 minutes. His neck is really giving him a lot of trouble, and I think any other player would have been off the field a lot earlier, but he's going to stick it out and lead his men to victory.
There's one thing about it, Ian, we're going to need a lot of white ink and crossing out ink as far as tomorrow's Winfield Cup teams are concerned.
That's for sure. It's been a hell of a day for injuries, and it just shows you how intense this game of rugby league's got in the 1987 season.
ABC Radio tomorrow will be covering the match between St George and Parramatta at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Next weekend, of course, we'll be seeing St George again on ABC television when St George take on Canterbury, live on ABC television at 5 to 3. Country's last error. See City come up with the ball. Elias, away it goes to Jarvis. Jarvis takes it up on the blind side. And he's playing as strongly now as what he did when he started.
Certainly has, David. He copped plenty off in the first 10 minutes.
And a very high tackle on Pearce from Kelly as he came in. Junior seems to be okay. The pass was forward originally anyway.
Dearie me, well, what he got in the last one, cop this.
Well,
he came off his chest. No two ways about it. But he's certainly rid up into the jaw area.
Well, can Country put another try on as Jack goes up the blind side? It comes back to Allenson. Allenson's out of one. He can't get his pass away. 10 metres inside City's territory as Sterling sends it away now to Davidson. Davidson trying to bust his way down the centre. Boyle, it's away to Laurie. Now it's with Farah. Farah trying to bust through that defence is going to be held up about 35, 40 metres out now from the City line. Only a minute or so left in the match. As the ball is played, blindside it comes to Sterling. Now it goes away to Laurie. Laurie down to the quarter line. Johnston for the corner. Johnston can't get inside Hasler. And coming across also Kenny. Hasler's had an incredible game. Again, he was the man who stopped that promising Country raid. As Sterling sends it away, it goes from Davidson back to Sterling. Well read by Sirenen. Last tackle against Country. It might be the last play in this match. City leading 30 to 22 as it comes away to Mortimer. Mortimer decides to put the kick in. It's into the in-goal area. Growth going back. Growth gets there first. Growth picks it up. The youngster Allenson comes at him, forces him into the ground, and play will restart with a line dropout if it starts at all.
Well, Mortimer, very well placed kick there, but Allenson was very slow off the mark. Full credit to Growth, and there it is.
Well, at half-time, it was 29 points to 6 in favour of Sydney, and everyone was thinking at what time Sydney would declare.
Every week they're at it, never daring to let up. Because winning's the only thing that counts when you're playing for the Winfield Cup. It doesn't matter if you're famous or a youngster making his way. There's only one thing that matters, and that's how well you play. That's what the big game's all about. Giving it the best you can. Always being a leader, never bowing to any man. Giving it all you know,
The Sunday State Bank big game saw Eastern Suburbs up against the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. They were home again at Henson Park, the Roosters, and deep in the memory, of course, was only a fortnight ago where they knocked over Canterbury Bankstown in the dying stages. Ironic was the fact that they were going to do the same to the Sharks last Sunday at Henson Park.
Well, winter has joined us here at Henson Park. We've been used to summery conditions up till now, but by heavens, for this clash between Eastern Suburbs and Cronulla, it's back to winter condition. Cold southerly breeze blowing. Eastern Suburbs get them away with the kick-off. East are running into a very, very strong breeze. And the ball has been allowed to go dead by Cronulla, so that's a line drop out to restart the action.
Major mistake from Cronulla right from the outset. Eastern Suburbs in the opening minutes of the game being allowed now to pile all the pressure on the Sharks, as Rex said, with the advantage of a very strong breeze here at Henson Park.
Well, there's the kick-off. It's gone to Worth, who played particularly well, I thought, in the New South Wales team, in the City team yesterday. He's brought the play back to within 10 metres of their line. Now John Mackay playing in 26, slips a ball beautifully to David Smith, and David Smith's going straight and hard. He could get there. No, he's just been tackled about a metre and a so short. Eastern Suburbs on the ball, out to McGann. Steps, gets the pass away to Brendan Hall. Brendan Hall gets a pass there to the centre, who's knocked over. Out to Mackay. Mackay standing in trying to stand in the tackle and offload. Can't do that. They're still within 8 metres of the line. Chuella out to Laurie Speeder. Speeder to McGann. McGann's tackled and put down before he can get a pass away. Last tackle coming. Speeder gets the kick into the end goal area. It'll be too strong. No, it's not. It had to be forced in goal. So again, the line drop out to restart the action.
A storming start by the Roosters. A great little kick into the end goal by Laurie Speeder. It was well gauged. It was going to pull up short. Ronnie Quinn was on the spot. Had to do the right thing for Cronulla. And yet again, they have to turn the Roosters around now with another set of 6 tackles.
Well, here they go again. Very high kick. It's gone over the halfway line. Taken by Gary Worth. Gives it away there to Gary Prome. Prome comes up to within 10 metres of the quarter line. Chuella running on the open side, out to John Mackay. Mackay already the giver of a pass that put David Smith on the burst. And there's a penalty offside against Michael Porter, standing out among the centres. And that's looks like it could be the first opportunity for Eastern Suburbs to kick for goal. Is that breeze as strong as we suspect it is, David?
Well, Rex, I'd say it's probably close to 8 to 10 points to Cronulla in this first half. It showed that in the reserve grade match, which was a thrilling match. The breeze is very, very strong. The conditions out here quite wintry, as you mentioned, but I'm looking forward to the clash today of the two fullbacks, Gary Worth and Jonathan Docking, who under these conditions with the strong breeze will have plenty of work to do. And I think yesterday, both these young, exciting fullbacks covered themselves with glory at Parramatta Stadium.
David Smith from about 25 yards in from the grandstand sideline and about a metre inside the quarter line. There'll be a danger of hooking this. Takes his time. Moving in now. No danger at all, so David Smith opens the account for Eastern Suburbs with a penalty goal, so Eastern Suburbs 2, Cronulla 0. Yes, while we're on the subject of the exciting reserve grade game, Eastern Suburbs won that 28-20. It was absolutely, well, toss for toss there. They went all the way, 18-20, 22-20. It went right that way, right through the game, and they won it 28-20. Eastern Suburbs also in the under-23s got up by 14 points to 8, so all Eastern Suburbs so far. Gilmeister there tackled on the quarter line. Chuella on a McGann. McGann surges away for 6 yards. Back to Gary Worth. Worth's kick is going to hold up in the breeze. It'll be taken by Docking. He's got Watson outside him. He's tackled. Eddinghausen went to dummy half, gave it a Diamond. Diamond's always something good to watch. Monty Porter up the sideline, knocking players left, right and centre, but driven over the sideline, something that he won't have appreciated. He shouldn't run that close to the sideline. The scrum going down 5 metres in Eastern Suburbs half. Spina defeated. It's one against the feed. There's a pass being thrown out in the backs there that went to nobody. Andrew Ettinghausen has it. He's been down there by Smith. Glenn Coleman goes from dummy half. He's still, I believe, one of the leading point scorers in the Rugby League in tries. Porter surges on. It's bad playing of the ball. He's been guilty of a couple of indiscretions early on in this match. He'll need to do better than this. To Sorensen. And they've got no dummy half that time. There's the kick going downfield by Quinn. Worth stands his ground, takes it beautifully, and has tackled 9 metres into the field of play. Steve Morris goes to dummy half. Driven sideways. Chuella. Shepherd. This young fellow's grown in stature the last couple of weeks. We've seen a fair bit of him. Brian Batiste. Chuella on a McGahn. And back to Worth. Worth gets a kick downfield. It'll be, it's bouncing back towards the Eastern Suburbs side. It's taken by Sean Watson, pushes off Stimply Morris. Gets an assist there from Gary Prame with a tackle. Docking. Diamond. Well put out. 12 metres out from the quarter line. McGaw. Quinn. Sorensen. 10 metres out from the quarter line. Staines. Quinn. Popped the pass to McGaw. Still fighting the tackle, about 6 metres out. Up to Dan Staines, running very well, looks for support. Last tackle coming up now as he gets to his feet. There's the kick across field, taken by Prame. Andrew Ettinghausen gets it, gets a pass away to Sean Wilson and on to Docking. And Docking scores. Well done, Ettinghausen. He picked the ball up there, realised there was not too many Eastern Suburbs players around, deliberately held the ball back.
On the State Bank replay, a line ball decision here for Kevin Roberts as Gary Prame lost the ball and was tackled. He called it clear. Ettinghausen on the spot, able to unload the pass. Seen Watson took the long ball. He found himself with open space, and as he was going down, he manages to look back inside for Docking, and Docking fights back for the Sharks, and they certainly started this game in a sloppy manner, sloppy around the rucks, but the last set of 6 tackles, they've finally started to put it together. That was the line ball decision for Kevin Roberts. Ettinghausen was on the spot, so was Seen Watson. The ball was meant to go out wider. He was able to stand in the tackle, and Jonathan Docking having a busy weekend at fullback.
Yes, a great performance and a try with an element of luck about it, but they all count. Now, Seen Watson is going to attempt to convert it. He's had success, so Cronulla Sutherland now lead by 6 points to 2. Hatch away to Gavin Miller. Kicks downfield. This will go to Worth again. He's positioning himself beautifully with these kicks. Runs the ball back upfield. Has found a gap. Is right through. Brilliant running. Chuella. Morris. Spina. McGahn. Straightens. Gets to within about 2 metres of the halfway line. In the middle of the field. Out to Smith. Oh, he didn't take that. Yes, he did. Laurie Spina weaves his magic. Smith. Out to Mackay. Plenty of movement in this game. McGahn. Onto Smith. Smith gets a pass back on the inside to Prime. Prime gets it to Chuella. Chuella gets it to McGahn. And McGahn's Bolton. He's going to pass away to Worth, and Worth has scored underneath the posts. It's a brilliant try from Eastern Suburbs. An absolute brilliant try.
On the State Bank replay, magnificent rugby league by the Roosters in fighting back, the ball going back inside. Gary Prime, David Cronulla shows a terrific turn of speed, looking inside. Hugh McGann, and hasn't the skipper from the Eastern Suburbs side been in magnificent form? Gary Worth did well to back up the skipper and under the post. A great reply. Cronulla being guilty in the last few moments of allowing Eastern Suburbs to stand and unload. Not going in low enough. They've been able to stand in tackles, the Roosters. Hugh McGann with a ton of pace for a lock forward, managed to go right through, and Gary Worth finished it off. And, well, as I said, for Jonathan Docking, a very busy weekend for both fullbacks.
You'd go a long way to see a better try than that. That was an absolutely superb try. Had everything. The way that I love to see the game played. Now this gives Smith a very simple kick from directly in front. The rain has started. It's only very light at this stage. Smith raises the flags. So Eastern Suburbs now lead Cronulla by 8 points to 6. Seen Watson to restart the action for Cronulla. McGann takes the kickoff in his quarter. Still in his quarter by 7 or 8 metres. Morris at dummy half. Away to Mackay. Mackay a metre from the quarter line. Away to Batiste. Batiste is over the quarter but tackled. Chuella to Danny Shepherd. He got a bit of a go on there, got to his feet, plays it another 10 metres gained. 7 or 8 metres from the halfway line. Back to Worth. Worth gets his kick downfield. The ball rolled and hit Watson on the legs, putting the Eastern Suburbs players on side. Docking onto McGaw, who had, I thought, a disjointing sort of a first half yesterday and then a very good second half. He couldn't quite mix in with the others, going on his own too much. But I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the New South Wales team. Still Cronulla only going crossfield in this segment of play. They'll use their kicking game from now. Gavin Miller kicks downfield, goes to Slippery Morris. Now watch this. Oops, he slips. Usually given 7 or 8 metres of side space, he can get round his man. Laurie Spina has impeded one defender there with a good stop and start. Onto Gilmeister. Very firmly hit. Chuella, firmly hit by Diamond. Oh, well, he took all day to pass that. That was ridiculous, and he's lost the ball. That was Gilmeister. Slow motion passing from dummy half. Dan Staines on the halfway line. Belted down. Back into Gavin Miller. Long cut-out pass, it was never on, and it's been kicked through. And the referee is going to rule on that, and it'll be offside against Cronulla.
On the replay here, we'll see that Steve Morris is the man on the spot, toes the ball through to Slippery Morris, and in trying to get to it, he's held back. Kevin Roberts on the spot and penalising Cronulla for holding the player back in play.
Brendan Hall. Morris. He's certainly starting to play well these days, Slippery Morris. Gilmeister running the blind side there, but not getting very far. Away to Mackay. Gets a pass away while he's tackled. McGann out to Brendan Hall. Oh, this is good passing out to Gary Prime. Prime's going strongly. Slippery Morris has been left behind. Gets it to him now. He's going to go in. Is he? No. He's been ankle tapped and now the pass has gone away to Laurie Spina. And Spina's gone in for the try. Good work, Slippery Morris. He wasn't tackled. He was ankle tapped and not held.
Magnificent on the State Bank replay. Super hands by everybody involved. Great ball from Brendan Hall. The big front rower, Danny Shepherd, magnificently picked it up. Gary Prum showed a nice turn of speed. And if you enjoyed their first try, sit back and enjoy this one by Steve Morris. The entire cover defence is drawn to Prum, leaving the winger Steve Morris among. Watson just manages to ankle tap him, but quite correctly. Morris was thinking. Laurie Spina on the spot, and under he goes. A great try. And I think they're just starting to get a nice little bit of roll to their play, Eastern Suburbs. John Mackay again being allowed to stand and unload in the tackles. McGahn saw that there was a chance out wide. Brendan Hall did remarkably well to go in and get the pass away. Shepherd picked it up. They certainly had the numbers out wide. Prime moved into open space, and three Cronulla defenders all converging on Prime, leaving the spot open for Slippery Morris and Laurie Spina, picking up the dregs and sending Eastern Suburbs on their way yet again, 12-6.
David Smith to take the conversion attempt, and he raises the flag. So Eastern Suburbs have scorched away now and lead by 14 points to 6. Porter again. Quinn, a long cutout pass, beautiful pass there to Eddinghausen. Gets it back on the inside to St. Watson. Watson's going well. He's tackled there by Gilmeister. On the blind side goes Gavin Miller. And that's a scrum. A little bit of messy football there. Oh, it's a handover. Out to Hugh McGahn, standing very wide of the ruck there. It took about a 20-metre pass to reach him. Gilmeister. Mackay. Straight and hard, this fella. Chuella. Batiste has made it towards the halfway line, 1 metre from it. Bit of nebulous play there. Gets to his feet, plays it forward, gets a penalty against himself. That's Gilmeister again. I think he's had, well, I won't be critical. I won't be critical there, but I do believe he's just on the wrong track today.
Well, a line ball decision, that one. When he got to his feet and played the ball forward there, I thought the marker wasn't completely in front. Kevin Roberts saw otherwise, and very few mistakes in this Eastern Suburbs side. They've played well the first half, only 2 missed tackles, and Cronulla Sutherland coming up with 6 missed tackles, but a lot of tackles where they've been allowing the Eastern Suburbs side just to stand and unload.
Gavin Miller to Sorensen from the tap restart. He's on the surge, the big fella. It's away to David Hatch, runs, dummies, gets it to Docking. Docking is tackled about 10 metres short of the Eastern Suburbs line. A try now would be very nice. Out to Gavin Miller. Out to Wilson. Wilson gets it away to Diamond. And he's tackled still 10 metres out. Out to Quinn. Out to Gavin Miller. Trying to slow the play down there and bring it back to his own pace a little bit. Well, Michael Porter thought he was a bull in the ring there in Spain somewhere. There's the cross kick. Brendan Hall was able to fall on it first and save the day.
And one of the few occasions where the Sharks have really put it all together. A lucky piece of tidying up there by Brendan Hall as the reflex action there. And now Cronulla is starting to just steadily grow a little bit. They're able to put it all together for 6 tackles. Gavin Miller's the man that continues to put guys through the gap. Jonathan Docking will virtually live in the front line now in this next set of 6 tackles.
Docking tackled by McGahn with a splendid tackle. McGaw gets a long pass out there to Dan Staines, and Dan comes back midfield. Tackled 10 metres outside the quarter. Porter to Gavin Miller, switches it across the ruck. It's a long pass, it's Eddinghausen, and he's bumped away. Worth's coming at him, and Worth won't get there. It's a brilliant try to Andrew Eddinghausen. Sprinted away, 25 yards to do it.
And it's not the first time they've threatened this. On the State Bank replay, Gavin Miller switches the ball across to Ronnie Quinn. Out to McGaw, who sees that the long ball is on, and brilliantly taken by Andrew Eddinghausen. Gary Worth had moved across to the other side of the field, originally had to come back. Eddinghausen had far too much pace. It was certainly the answer that Jack Gibson was looking for. Miller read that the play was on, back onto the left-hand side. A great long ball by McGaw to cut out Gary Prom, and Eddinghausen drew it out of the air. Too much pace for Gary Worth, and the Sharks now something to enjoy just prior to the break.
Andrew Eddinghausen's try will be attempted to be converted by Sean Watson. He's given him a difficult kick. Study and concentration. Looks good, and it's away to the left. Just went over, apparently, the top of the left-hand upright, waved away by both touch judges, so the score remains Eastern Suburbs 14, Cronulla 10. Worth, Truella, Mackay, looking, searching all the time to get the pass away, this fella, believe me. Truella, Danny Shepherd. And not far behind him is Danny Shepherd. Truella, Spina, Brendan Hall, back to Spina, then on to McGaw, McGann, out to Prome. Prome's tackle, there was a good move there on, which I've seen used by several clubs, Wests and Balmain. That kick by Gary Worth's not very good. Goes straight up in the air. I think it's Hugh McGann down injured there. We've got the referee may stop the play. He's pretty close to where the action is. Gavin Miller. Back to Monty Porter, Michael Porter. Yeah, tell us about that Hugh McGann incident there.
Well, Rex, he ended up the blind side on that switch of play, and he seemed to sort of clash of heads or a head and a shoulder, and he twisted quite badly in the tackle. And wouldn't be surprised if he's got a slight concussion or a slightly injured neck.
All right, well, that'll be bad for Eastern Suburbs. He's been very much a linchpin of their side.
And there it is, he's the Cronulla player coming in late.
Well, they're having to really carry him from the field now. He's that unwell, getting a round of applause, which he quite definitely deserves. No question about the form he's in at the moment. It is very, very good. So that's where they're going to treat him on the sideline. I doubt if Arthur Beetson will waste the time to bring a replacement on. Well, Cronulla get the penalty. Well, there's the hooter in the background, so it'll be just the case of kick for touch and one tackle. Gavin Miller has not found touch, so that is an absolute beauty for Eastern Suburbs. Gary Worth kicks back. That's dangerous. Why put yourself to the problem? Why do it? Andrew Eddinghausen downfield. There's Dockings on the chase. Batiste will get to it first. And I can't see any point in what Gary Worth did there. He really needs a rocket for that. That could have been a try to Cronulla Sutherland. East 14, Cronulla 10. Eastern Suburbs tries have come from Worth and Spina. The goals have come 3 from 3 to Smith. Cronulla's tries have come from Docking and Eddinghausen. Watson's goals have been 1 from 2. Alan Wilson coming away with a good bust. Out to Hatch. Hatch gets a long pass to McGaw. McGaw to Eddinghausen. Oh! That'll be Chalice. That'll be Chalice for now. That's off. He's off. There's a dead set high, head high tackle. No question about it. No question about it.
Nobody's going to argue. He came in looking to cut the ball off. Swinging arm. I'm not going to talk about any intent. Kevin Roberts is on the spot. You can argue where the initial impact of tackles like that are. Wayne Chalice shakes his head, but he's now leaving his side a man short.
Wayne Chalice, sad sight. Andrew Eddinghausen is up and about. He wasn't badly hurt in the incident. As the result of all that, Eastern Suburbs 1 man short for the balance of this game, 35 minutes, with a 4-point lead and a slight breeze in their favour.
A lot of pressure on Eastern Suburbs with such an incident like that. Not to get carried away, they've got to regroup. Important defensive line now for the half-back and 5'8" and lock forward. Hardy, also Spina and Brendan Hall. They've got to keep a straight line of defence. Cronulla have got to try and work the ball 1 or 2 plays to the middle and seeing that Eastern Suburbs are 1 man down in the defensive line, try and find the gap out wide.
Diamond probing there in the middle, getting it away to Gavin Miller. Miller gets a pass there, which has gone back to Hatch. Hatch is tackled on the quarter line. Out to Sorensen. Eddinghausen, oh, that pace of his is a worry. He scoots and covers the ground like a gazelle. On to Quinn. Quinn gets it away to Staines. Staines is on the boil. He's only 8 metres out. McGaw running from dummy half, throws a long pass. Out there, was nearly intercepted. It's been touched by Eastern Suburbs, by Prime, and it's still Cronulla. On to Porter. Porter's searching to get that pass back on the inside. Couldn't do so. Eastern Suburbs defence stretched down. Quinn. Sorensen. Sorensen backs towards the Cronulla line. They're only 8 metres away. On a McGaw straight right through. That was just a beautiful pass delivered with the intent for somebody to come straight and hard on the burst, and that's exactly what McGaw did.
Well, the gaps should have been out wide on the State Bank replay. They weren't. They were just on the fringe of the ruck. Worth and John Mackay getting caught out there. A great ball from Ronnie Quinn. McGaw ran to the gap, and Ronnie Quinn served up a beautiful pass. And plenty of trouble for the Roosters now. 14 apiece. Good running from the dummy half area. He read that they were just short, and McGaw does run to the gap. 14 all now on the scoreboard, and Eastern Suburbs slow to regroup after the send-off of Wayne Chalice.
14 all with this kick at goal to follow. Moves in, strikes it well. So the score now remains Cronulla 16, Eastern Suburbs 14. Eastern Suburbs again in possession from a drop ball by Diamond. Spina. Brendan Hall. Yes, Cronulla have made another change. There's a 19 on the field. Who's that, David?
It's Scott Gustard. He's on for Craig Diamond, who sustained a broken nose in yesterday's match at the Parramatta Stadium, but a strong performance by the big Cronulla second rower.
And Gilmeister's made the break, making up for the error, and he crashes over to put the Roosters well and truly back into the game in front, 18-16. All too easy on the State Bank replay. Very simple blindside play. The Sharks holding back, standing back in the defensive line. Gavin Miller falling for the dummy. Alan Wilson and Jonathan Ducking tried to tidy it up, but it was the man making a few mistakes himself for the Roosters today, Trevor Gilmeister, hitting the ball up, and didn't he make up for that last mistake? All too easy, but a strong comeback by the Roosters.
Yes, indeed, and this is going to be an opportunity for David Smith to get involved. We've had about 19 minutes of play. Moves in right now. Oh, it didn't miss by much. It's away to the left. And the score remains Eastern Suburbs 18, Cronulla 16. Now Porter's running from dummy half. Oh, he's got some pace up too. Very close to going over. Docking at dummy half. Docking throws the dummy. He's immersed under the defenders. Quinn, Gustard. Oh, beautifully picked up by Eddinghausen. Hurst has got it. got it away there to Coleman. Coleman's tackled by David Smith in a top try-saving tackle. Left a large divot there too. Gustard tackled Quinn. And the referee is going to rule offside. Mr. Roberts, the referee, had a clear view.
Well, there was the kick across field again. I felt that Ronnie Quinn erred. I certainly felt that he could have just sent the ball out wide. They had the numbers and it would have been just as easy, but the penalty going the other way. And David Moore changes this time for Eastern Suburbs.
Yes, remembering that Eastern Suburbs playing with that five-man pack. Brad Tessman on in number 10, replacing Danny Shepherd, obviously the experience. And that high work rate of Brad Tessman will come into play in the remaining minutes of this second half.
Straight into action for Tessman. He's certainly going to be required to come up with a lot of effort in the last 15 minutes.
Okay, Brad Tessman, number 10, is the replacement. Spina gets it away to Hardy. Hardy had a good game in reserve grade and was responsible for the one of the late tries. The little bulldog, little David Truella, comes away with a good scurrying little run from dummy half. Slippery Morris goes from there. That's the way to play it. 18 to 16. 15 minutes to survive. David French back to Gary Prome. The last tackle coming up. Out to Mackay, then to Worth. Worth finds the open spaces. It's gone behind, and indeed it's gone over the dead ball line, so it'll be a quarter line dropout to restart. Gavin Miller to take it. Worth gets the ball from the drop. Coleman affects the tackle on Eastern Suburbs side of halfway. Brad Tessman. Brendan Hall. Gilmeister pops a pass to Slippery Morris. Slippery Morris to French. Tackle but not put down for about 3 or 4 seconds. Away they go up the blind side again with Mackay trying to work his magic there. Truella loses the ball forward. The ball's been fallen on by Eastern Suburbs. Tassel. I'll rephrase that. It's been fallen on by Brad Tassel from Eastern Suburbs. Referee wants to scrum. Oh, that ball nearly came out the Eastern Suburbs side. Gustard playing at 5'8". Quinn. Coleman. Eastern Suburbs must watch this 5 yards. Staines. Docking. Back they come with great defence. Quinn. Out to Gustard. Oh, front forward. Was a forward pass anyway, but Andrew Henninghausen has got it. The ball has been kicked by him. It's come back. He's gone back for it. Weaves around and makes a further gain.
Again, they have the numbers out far on the left if they can just move it out.
McGaw gets the pass away to Wilson. Wilson's gone up the sideline. He's going to score. And he indeed scores in the corner.
Well, it had to come. Ron Quinn this time acknowledged the fact that they had the numbers out on the left. It was a good long ball that eventually got it out there. Quickly on the State Bank replay. Only 2 and 3 Roosters out on the left. A good long ball from Quinn and an equally good long pass from McGaw. That's the second time he's put the Sharks on attack. A badly missed tackle. On very few occasions does that occur from Steve Morris and Alan Wilson. Coming up with enough pace to get him into the corner. 2 great long balls in the Cronulla back line by Ron Quinn and then by Mark McGaw. Stevie Morris has certainly got too much pace for Alan Wilson, but he makes the first up mistake of the tackle. Coming across, but all too late, Laurie Spina. And the Sharks going back into the lead. Replacement man Alan Wilson becoming a very important part of this Cronulla lineup this afternoon. A massive leap into the corner. And the same man will now get up and try and convert his own try.
Alan Wilson from the sideline. Only 19, 20 points to 18. Cronulla lead Eastern Suburbs. Around about 7.5 minutes to go. One up, one down, and the referee agrees. It's a goal. 22 points to 18 in Cronulla's favour. Way to Mackay, driven sideways. But they're going to try it through the backs. Out to Spina. Brennan Hall, back to Spina. He comes to a shuddering halt midfield. Gets up, plays it forward. Little kick over the top, taken out of it. It'll be a penalty. Sensations here.
Another difficult decision for Kevin Roberts. Well, I couldn't see a lot in the kicks over the top. Well, arguable decision as the Roosters try and steal this game now. And Stevie Morris will do it.
He's there. Slippery Morris has scored. Right in the dying stages of the game. He's gone over for a try, which you'll see on the State Bank replay in just a moment.
And away he comes, close to the line. Plenty of defence there for Cronulla. Sorensen went low. He probably should have gone high on the little man, and it was all too easy for him from there. Trying to sneak in close to the ruck. And now plenty of pressure for the man who won the game against Canterbury. Here's the replay again. Morris sneaking away with the ball. Steps through Jonathan Docking. Sorensen goes low. That was the mistake. He should have gone high on the big man to try and stop him. And this young man again now with a chance to covering himself in glory again.
Or not cover himself in glory. Anyway, the kick will be taken from about 15-20 metres in from the sideline and about 15 metres out from the goal line. He's kicked it! He's kicked it! And the score goes to Cronulla. It's 22. Eastern Suburbs 24. About a minute to go, plus injury time. Can Cronulla strike back?
We saw a pretty solid looking Arthur Beetson, but he's all set to celebrate, I'm sure, and that man about to play the ball, David Smith. Twice now. Nerves of steel here at Henson Park to steal the game for the Roosters.
Slippery Morris taking plenty of time over this. They're running it from dummy half. There's Truella coming away with a little sprint. Why, geez, put some work together today for this side. On a Hardy. Hardy goes a couple of metres sideways. They've got every right at the moment not to play football, just to go hard and straight. There's Truella again. Brendan Hall at dummy half. Last tackle. Been kicked downfield. Pulled out of the air by Quinn. Got it to Coleman. Coleman's gone back in field. Tassel's hanging to him like a leech. Tessman comes over the top. This will be the last chance for Cronulla. Gustard throws an awful pass. It's taken by McGaw. McGaw gets it away to Ettinghausen. Ettinghausen gets it there to Gustard, and Gustard's trying to find his way out of the position. They were losing ground in possession. On the Quinn. Oh, the pass has been thrown over the sideline. Well, that minute must have gone. There it is. There's the end of the section, and a great win to Eastern Suburbs. A really great win here to Eastern Suburbs, 24 to Cronulla's 22. The scorers for Eastern Suburbs in a 4-try each bonanza has been Worth, Spina, Gilmeister and Morris. Smith, 4 goals. The last one, pressure and a beautiful kick. Docking, Ettinghausen, McGaw and Wilson were the try scorers. Watson 1, Wilson 2.
Every week they're at it, never daring to let up. Because winning's the only thing that that counts when you're playing for the Winfield Cup. It doesn't matter if you're famous or a youngster making his way. There's only one thing that matters, and that's how well you play. That's what the big game's all about. Giving it the best you can. Always being a leader, never bowing to any man. Giving it all you know, giving it your best shot, making every step a winner, proving what it takes you got. Every week they're at it, giving it their all. But who will it be this year to collect the greatest prize of all?
A stunning weekend of Winfield Cup football, plenty of tries and a couple of major upsets. Let's take a look at all the action of the other games.
At North Sydney Oval, the Bears and the Seagulls played the local derby. The second row combination of Gibbs and Cleal combined for Manly's first try. The Bears equalised after a good run by Clayton Friend. From the play, the ball marked Cannon through the dummy and went over. Then Ian French scored a superb solo try. The seesawing action continued as Manly took back the lead. A clever pass by Cliff Lyons gave Cleal another try. The Bears had a major setback just before half-time. Mark Graham was sent off for an alleged head-high tackle. Manly made the most of playing against 12 men. Dale Shearer did well. Barclay finished. When Shearer scored his own try, Manly had a match-winning lead of 30-16. Tempers flared with 5 minutes remaining. Mark Pocock was dismissed as a result of this little altercation. The Bears scored a consolation try, but Manly emerged victorious. At the Sydney Cricket Ground, Parramatta lost Eric Groth before the match started. St George began quickly with a try by Steve Robinson. Seven minutes later, Graham Wynne scored from a Craig Young kick. The Dragons now led 12-0. The Eels had just lost Jeff Bugden with a suspected broken arm when Peter Wynne gave the Parramatta fans something to cheer about. St George's third try was the best of the match. Johnston accelerated away. Graham Wynne came up on the inside before passing the ball back to Johnston. That made the score 16-8. A clever flick pass from Sterling saw the Eels come back with Lydner's try converted. Two more penalties from the boot of Muggleton in the second half finally put the Eels ahead 20-16. In the closing minutes, St George launched attacking raids. The pressure told with Selby bulldozing his way over to level the scores. Then, with just seconds remaining, John Muggleton attempted a field goal. Referee Stone rules a goal. The St George players stand stunned by the loss while Parramatta go away with 2 valuable competition points. At the Wollongong Sports Ground, a penalty goal gave Illawarra a 2-point lead at half-time. Dean Carney took advantage of 2 more penalties in the second half before Perry Haddock sealed the match 11 minutes from full time. Dean Carney collected a loose pass from Andrew Farrer 5 minutes from half-time, capping off a great victory in all 3 grades. At Seaford Sports Ground, South Sydney and Canberra played a less than inspiring rugby league game. Both sides had long kicking duels. Although no tries were scored, the Raiders came closest with 6 minutes remaining when Phil Carey touched down after a bomb from Chris O'Sullivan. Final score, Raiders 6, Rabbitohs 2. At Leichhardt Oval, Balmain did it the hard way against Western Suburbs. In the first half, the Magpies really turned on some good attacking football. From dummy half, Paul Sheehan wasted no time in feeding John Elias, who made the most of some ordinary defence. This type of play had the Magpies leading 12-2 at half-time. But Balmain fought back in the second half with determined plays like this. The Tigers got the last-minute nod, 16-12.
Couple of major upsets. Let's just check those results for you right now. The weekend started off on Saturday. The Sydney Origin team 30, Country of Origin 22. Balmain just sneaking home in the dying stages against Western Suburbs. Parramatta likewise 21 over St George 20. Manly 30-22. Norths playing for most of the game with only 12 men. And Illawarra, won't there be some celebrations in Wollongong, knocking over Canterbury Bankstown. Canberra also a bit of an upset, I would suggest, over South Sydney, 6-2, and Eastern Suburbs in the dying stages, relying once again on young David Smith to get them home, 24-22. Now the premiership table, Balmain with that lucky win, sneaking out onto 20. Manly moving into second spot. East and Cronulla sharing third. Canterbury and Canberra sharing fourth. And then another host of teams, Illawarra, Penrith, Parramatta and Souths, all trying to jump back into the top 5. And unfortunately for Western Suburbs, unlucky yet again, still on the bottom of the table. Next weekend's game, the Raiders up against the Roosters, Parramatta and Penrith, Manly and Balmain in a big clash to see, well, to really tighten things up at the top of the Winfield Cup table. Canterbury up against St George, Souths and Norths, Cronulla and Illawarra, and West finally get their chance with 2 points, having the bye situation. Well, as I say, a very big weekend and week of Winfield Cup Rugby League. A lot of upsets, a lot of points. Hope you've enjoyed all the action. Until next time, I'm Graeme Hughes. Goodbye for now.